Dave Chappelle won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Variety Special pre-recorded for his 2019 special Sticks and Stones. You may recall that was the one that wasn't that popular with critics. Here's Chappelle's pre-recorded speech. He said, "Boy, this comes as a complete surprise. I mean, I read all the reviews and they said so many terrible things. They were embarrassed for me. I had lost my way. It wasn't even worth watching. I hope all you critics learned from this. This is a teachable moment. Shut the F up forever." From the late night shows, Jimmy Kimmel said, "As you know, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away on Friday, and the host of Celebrity Apprentice would like to be the one to replace her." Nice to see Kimmel back in the big chair, by the way. Jimmy Fallon said, "Sure, the Olympics were canceled, but at least we have the Republicans to show off some truly spectacular backflips." Trevor Noah said, "Well, there you have it, folks. When you have the Senate, you can do whatever you want. Trump is right. It's basically when you're a star, they let you do it, but of judicial appointments." Trevor again, "Now, I don't think anybody's surprised that Senate Republicans said one thing when Obama was president and another thing when it's Trump. I mean, you can't even call them inconsistent, you know? Doing whatever it takes to get his way is the one consistent principle that Mitch McConnell lives by, you know? It's that and eating baby birds right out of the nest." Colbert, "Trump really wants this Supreme Court fight, but there's danger in Trump basing his re-election on this because 62% of Americans want the seat to remain vacant, compared to only 23% who want him to fill it." He then did a Trump impression saying, "People love the way I skanked COVID. Quick, find something to take their mind off it. I've narrowed it down to hastily replacing the most beloved Supreme Court justice or drop-kicking Baby Yoda." Trevor, "Speaking of lifetime appointments, I can't believe that Donald J. Trump, people, gets to name 3 justices to the Supreme Court. The guy can't even name 3 branches of government, but he gets to name 3 justices who serve for life. This is the same guy who's had to fire everyone he hired because of how bad he is at firing people." I'll leave the pregnant pause for you to think about that one. Jimmy Fallon said, "Yeah, the Trump campaign is now selling fill the seat t-shirts. Seriously, someone just passed away and he's selling t-shirts like they just clinched the American League East." Fallon again, "Here's some advice. If you're wondering how to deal with a job opening when someone dies and you find yourself on a custom t-shirt website, you've made a wrong turn." Seth Meyer said, "Now look, I get that highlighting their hypocrisy is mostly pointless. Hypocrisy only matters if you have shame. They don't. Mitch McConnell certainly isn't capable of feeling shame. He looks like a haunted wooden doll you'd find in an estate sale and has the same level of emotional complexity." Seth again, "I get that hypocrisy is baked in. Pointing it out won't change their minds. It's like telling a middle school bully, 'Giving me a wedgie won't make your parents get back together.' He knows that. He just wants to give you that wedgie." Colbert said, "Trump is thrilled to have this opportunity. A source close to him revealed that Trump has been salivating to nominate a replacement. So get ready for Supreme Court Justice Extra Crispy." And Trump has floated that the replacement would be a woman. Jimmy Kimmel said, "Now we're doing Supreme Court Justice gender reveals, but James Corden for the win. Trump has promised a female nominee. This means Trump is going to be spending a lot of time this weekend enjoying his favorite hobby, rating women on a scale of 1 to 10. I want to give you guys a couple recommendations. There's a podcast I really like. It's called ABC Comedy Presents. The ABC, in this case, is the Australian broadcasting company. ABC Comedy Presents. They do a lot of stuff from the Melbourne Comedy Festival. It's all Aussie comics, but I really enjoyed the most recent episode by Nath Valvo and the one before that by Craig Quartermain. So check out ABC Comedy Presents if you want to hear full comedy specials by some people that are probably off your radar. Netflix has unveiled a video called Hey Remember Comedy. The purpose of the video, 22 minutes long, is to tie with Comedy Gives Back to raise emergency COVID-19 relief funds to benefit BIPOC comedians who have been out of work due to the pandemic. The special was produced by Neil Brennan. Some of the people in the video, Sandler, haven't heard from you, bro, by the way, and I bet you're not funny in this video. Adam Sandler, Amy Schumer, Bert Kreischer, Bill Burr, Chris Rock, Letterman, Ellen, Eric Andre, Gabriel Iglesias, George Lopez, Hannah Gadsby, Hassan Minhaj, Eliza Schlesinger, Seinfeld, Joe Coy, Mulaney, Kevin Hart, Leslie Jones, Nick Kroll, Ronnie Chang, Sam J, Sarah Silverson. No, not Sarah Silverson. I went to high school with her. Sarah Silverman, Sebastian Maniscalco, Steve Martin, Taylor Tomlinson, Tig Notaro, Tiffany Haddish, Tom Papa, Wanda Sykes, and Whitney Cummings. That's a heck of a list, and I think the smallest names on there are Tom Papa and Sam J, so that's some pretty good company. Their goal, Comedy Gives Back, believes Black Lives Matter, and they wrote, thanks to Netflix for the generous gift to activate our new fund focusing on helping Black, Indigenous, people of color community who have suffered from economic and mental effects during COVID-19. How will the funds be used? Donations will be used to give immediate relief to those who have lost their gigs and income due to recent shutdowns through the $500 grants for working comedians in need. I mentioned Jimmy Kimmel was back in the big chair. He said, well, I hosted the virtual Emmys. They're saying it was the highest rated Emmys ever. Oh, the lowest. Oh, all right. Variety caught up with Molly McEnany. She is the co-head writer of those Emmys. She's also Mrs. Jimmy Kimmel. And she talked about whether or not that was the real Stanley Cup that Kimmel had on the set. And it was. The producers thought it would be fun to taunt Canada in case Schitt's Creek won big. And yes, it did. McInerney said, there's only one Stanley Cup. We had to get the Stanley Cup. We did that in advance because we were looking at the first part of the show and we thought, if Schitt's Creek wins a couple of these, we need to kind of rub it in that they'll never have the Stanley Cup. I'm not a huge hockey fan. That was certainly not my idea. That was Jimmy's idea. He thought, if Canada's going to take all our awards, let's flaunt the award we know they all really want, which is the Stanley Cup. So we had it on standby, and then it was tricky for us. When do we bring up the Stanley Cup? Are they going to win this one or the next one? It was a gamble, because if they hadn't won Best Comedy, then we would have just had a sad Stanley Cup in the wings that would have never been brought out on camera. Speaking of Schitt's Creek, now that the critics have determined that we all must kneel before it and pretend that it's way better than I personally think it is, it's fine, but all right, everybody, relax with this show. It's not that good. The Wrap tells us Comedy Central will now act like they care about the show. They're going to air all 6 seasons of the show beginning October 2nd. Netflix, they have the rights to the 6th and final season popping up on October 7th. On Sunday, Schitt's Creek won all 7 of its possible Emmy categories. Hooray! And from the New York Post, Senator Michael Gianaris, Democrat from Queens, is trying to get comedy clubs to reopen. Comedian Christian Finnegan said, everybody understands this is complicated, but New York State seems to have figured it out for every other industry. I'm not sure why comedy can't get a concrete plan. I can tell you this, the ban on live comedy has done nothing of the sort. Shows are happening every night in backyards, parking lots, and private homes. The only thing this confusion does is prevent those shows from happening safely under the oversight of licensed venues. We'll see what happens there. That's your comedy news for today. Thank you for listening. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and follow on Spotify, plus Pandora and Amazon and the other places. Catch you tomorrow.